Peace everybody, back with another video. This is thousands protests in Chicago against Israel carrying Palestinian flags, chanting for Israel's destruction. And of course, you know what is going on right now, that Iran and Israel are battling each other, and this is what it came down to in Chicago, and this is what you see here in Chicago. You got Israel and Palestinians. Hamas, a terrorist organization located throughout the Gaza Strip, targeted Israel this week with over 1,000 rockets and other explosives over a span of 3 days. Hamas and Palestinian fighters say this was in response to Israel airstrike operations killing multiple Hamas leaders. Yeah, so Hamas is a terrorist organization. That's what it's listed here in the article. It's located throughout the Gaza Strip, targeted Israel this week with over 1,000 rockets and other explosives over a span of 3 days. Of course, Hamas and Palestinian fighters say this was in response to Israeli airstrike operations killing multiple Hamas leaders. Those rockets were overwhelmingly launched towards civilian and residential life in Israel. Yes, so the rockets were overwhelmingly launched towards civilian and residential life in Israel. A group of hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters began to gather in Chicago, protesting Israel's response to these attacks. The protesters marched with signs demanding to halt to the U.S. funds that go to Israel. Here is a link to a local Chicago news report on the massive pro-Palestinian protests. I'm not going to click on any links, so yes, a group of hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters, they began to gather in Chicago protesting Israel's response to these attacks. The protesters marched with signs demanding to halt to the U.S. funds that go to Israel. Well, first of all, Israel is not the problem. Iran is the problem. They have been our enemy for years, and it's all because of Creepy Joe and his administration, along with Barry, who is another former president. They have turned this entire planet upside down. It's not like what it used to be before. Now it's all upside down. Alright, and here's the video part for it. I will not play it. Jay Tekath, the executive vice president of the Jewish Defense Fund, told reporters, "We should not confuse the arsonist with the firefighter." He went on to say the Israeli military is responding with strength and proportionate force. Yeah, so Jay Tekath, the executive vice president of the Jewish Defense Fund, told reporters we should not confuse the arsonists with the firefighters. He also went on to say Israeli military is responding at strength and proportionate force. Tekath reminded the viewers that the target of the airstrikes done by Israel are terrorists, whereas the rockets being fired into his country are targeting civilians. No, because if Israel has a right to defend itself, they could, this is why Israel, they have a dome, alright, to protect themselves. So any rockets that come flying through that way, that it will take out the rockets, literally. And of course, Tekath TCAS is reminding the viewers that the target of the airstrikes done by Israel are terrorists. Okay, where's his proof of that? Where is this proof saying that Israel are terrorists? I haven't seen any proof of it. Here's a Twitter account of Save whatever it is, but it's in a hashtag thing. We'll just call it at Riffs33. That's his handle. Alright, and of course he posted on Twitter, says, "Today we shut down the streets of Chicago to stand with our Palestinian brothers and sisters in Jerusalem facing land theft and Zionist violence." Yes, so that's what he posted on Twitter. So they're all, look at Chicago, it's all shut down. Look what they've done. Here's another Twitter account. Of course, this person writes, "So blessed to have been able to attend this protest in Chicago today. I am still in awe of the pure will of the Palestinian people. We truly will never give up. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." Yes, so that's what that person wrote on his Twitter account while retweeting this video. Alright. And of course, you know, this is from May 12th, 2021 from Chicago, Illinois. As you can see here with this part of the video, which I'm not going to play, but this is what they do. Alright, because these people are just accusing one another of doing everything that they're not doing. Alright, so Iran has always been the problem, like I said, because of Creepy Joe and Barry, the former president. So, and this is what it came down to with the protests like this. Leave your comments below. I am out.